Good morning. Wish you all happy Guru Purnima. This is a fourth video lesson of third chapter current electricity. In a previous video lesson we have studied about dependence of resistivity and temperature and resistivity of different materials like conductors, semiconductors and insulators. The specific property of alloys for being used as resistance coils and meter bridge wire and potentiometer wire etc. So today we are going to learn about the combination of resistors. You already have studied about this topic in class 10th, that resistors basically can be connected in two ways. One is in series and other is in parallel. So though the derivation is not so important as far as the board examination is concerned, but how to identify the resistors, they are in series or they are in parallel, that concept is very important. Now let us see. So combination of resistors. Combination of resistors. Number one, series combination. Number two, parallel combination. Parallel combination. One by one we will discuss. First we will take up a series combination. So I write here resistors in series. Let us make this very quick. This is the symbol of resistor. Name it as R1. And here is another resistor. This is R2. And here is another resistor, R3. So these have different resistances because we have the formula R equals rho into L by A. If all of them are made up of the same material, then rho will be same. If they have different lengths with the same area of cross section, they will have different resistances. If they have different areas of cross section with the same length, then also they will have different resistances. Okay. If all of them are having same length and area of cross section, definitely they should have been prepared by materials of different resistivity. Okay. So like that, how the resistors can have different values is like this. Now let us connect all of them to a common source of potential difference V plus minus V. We discussed in previous classes that always current comes out of the positive terminal of a cell. So current is now coming out. Let us name it as I. So this current will come here. This current is here. So I is nothing but Q by T, rate of flow of electric charge. That means physically the charge is flowing in the circuit. So some charge of say 100 microcoulomb will come here and it will pass through the R1. Again the same 100 microcoulomb will come here, pass through after passing through R2 and 100 microcoulomb again will come here. That means when resistors are in series, all of them will have same current through them, like this. So when charge is moving through a conductor, remember this conductor or resistor cannot consume any charge or it cannot produce any charge. Therefore, whatever the charge is entering at left end, the same charge will come out at the right end. Same is the case with the remaining resistors also. So therefore, as there is no different paths for this current to divide, same current will flow throughout the circuit. So first point what you have to remember is current remains the same. Current remains the same in all resistors. In all resistors. Okay, right. So number 2. Now we have formula V equals IR. V equals IR. We said current is going to be same. So this implies that V is directly proportional to R. More is the resistance, more will be the potential drop. Less is the resistance, less will be the potential drop. So accordingly, these resistors will have different potential differences across them. V1, V2 and V3. So same current will flow. Same current will flow, but the potential differences will be different in the resistors. Okay. Now, how will they share? They share in the direct ratio of their resistances. This is the equation. V proportional to R. Suppose I have a 12 volt battery here. Okay. And this 12 volt should be divided among these three resistors in a direct proportion to their resistances. Suppose this is 2 ohm and this is 3 ohm, this is 4 ohm. Accordingly, they will share the resistances. Now, third point. The sum of the potential differences must be equal to potential of the battery. That is, V must be equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This is the basic equation for this particular topic. Then we expand this. V is nothing but what? IR. So this will be IR1. I am not writing it R1, I1 R1 because current is not different. So IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. So I can be taken common. You will have R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is V. Take I this side. You will get V divided by I equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. From Ohm's law, V equals IR. Then V by I is nothing but what? R. So in the place of this V by I will write it as R. Okay. Now as I have connected the resistors in series, I will give a subscript S. S stands for series combination. So R series equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. RS is also known as equivalent resistance of the three resistors connected in series. Okay. Right. Suppose if I have two identical resistors. This is 2 ohm, this is also 2 ohm. For two identical resistors, R series equals to, you will get R plus R equals to 2R. If I have three identical resistors, this will become 3R. Four identical resistors, 4R. N number of identical resistors, it will be NR. So, for N number of identical resistors, R series equals to N into R. This you remember. This was different for capacitors. When capacitors were in series, we have written that net capacitance in series equals to C divided by N. But when the resistors are in series, it is not divided by N, rather it is multiplied by N. Okay. So, suppose 2, 3 and 4 are in series. What is the net resistance of the circuit means? R1 plus R2 plus R3, 2 ohm plus 3 ohm plus 4 ohm, 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9 ohm will come here. So you have connected the largest value as 4 ohm, but you are obtaining the net value as what? 9 ohm. Therefore, the equivalent resistance in series combination will increase and the effective value will be greater than the largest value in the combination. I repeat, the effective resistance or the net resistance in series combination will be greater than the largest of the combination. Which is the largest of the combination? 4 ohm is the largest. How much you obtained? 9 ohm. So therefore, the net resistance will be greater than the largest. So these are the points you should remember in series. Right. Then we go for other combination which is known as parallel. So resistors in parallel. Right. So again 3 resistors we will consider. This is R1 and just below this we connect another resistor. This is R2 and just below this we connect R3. Children, I taught you how will be the parallel combination in capacitors. So same thing can be applicable to resistors also. So the common point of all the 3 resistors is connected to a source of potential difference V plus minus potential difference V. Now this will send a current out. This is I. Remember children, this current I may be same or may not be same as compared to the previous current which you have seen in series combination. Okay, I will make it further clear. This current can never be equal to current in series combination. Series combination may resistance value is increasing, therefore for a given battery current will decrease. Here we will see what will happen. So this current I and the current which you have seen earlier in the series combination are not equal. This current will be larger than that current. Fine. So now this will flow in the connecting wire here and it will come here as I only. Now this will find 3 different ways. So 100 microcoulomb charge is entering to this point, say A. Now it will divide into 3 different paths. Okay. So less is the resistance, more will be the charge flow. Suppose R1 is less than R3, then more amount of charge will flow in R1. Therefore, it records a greater current I1 and this records a current I2 and this records a current I3. So this current I1 will flow through a resistor. Current is nothing but rate of flow of charge only. So charges are moving through R1. So R1 does not consume any charge or does not vomit any charge. So therefore, the charge will come out with the same value. So the current still remains as what I1. So here also I1 and here also this is I2 and this current I3 will come over here. Now I1, I2, I3, Kirchhoff's first law. All of them are joining to come out as I1 plus I2 plus I3 which are divided from I. So this net current should be what again what I. Right. Now as current is getting divided and every resistor is directly connected to the terminals of the cell, all of them will have the same potential difference. This is V and here also V, here also V. I repeat it, as every resistor is directly connected to the battery. So here is the battery, right? This is your R1. It is connected like this, directly connected to the battery. This is R2. This is also connected directly to the battery. This is R3. This is also connected directly to the battery. So instead of seeing this combination like this, you also can see this is the equivalent combination of the resistors. So every resistor is directly connected to the terminals of the battery. Therefore, all the resistors will have the same potential difference across them. Now from V equals, so first point what you should write is, V remains the same. V remains the same across all the resistors. You should use a proper terminology in electricity. V will not flow, potential will not flow, potential will exist, potential will fall across a resistor, potential will get a drop across the resistor. But current does not exist, current will flow. So current flows, potential drops. Okay, right. Number 2. Now you have V equals IR, Ohm's law. You said V is same for all the resistors. Then from this you can write it as I varies inversely with R. So the total current will be divided among the 3 resistors in the inverse ratio of their resistances. Smaller is the resistance, more will be the current. If this is 2 ohm, this is 3 ohm and this is 4 ohm. Tell me which resistor carries more current? 2 ohm will carry the more current. Then the least current is carried by 4 ohm. Intermediate current is carried by 3 ohm. So therefore, the current will be current will be divided in the inverse ratio of their resistances. What I mean to say that I1 by I2 must be equals to R2 by R1. This is one of the important thing you should remember. Number 3. So as a single current I is divided into 3 parts, you can write it as I equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now again use Ohm's law. V equals IR, I equals V by R. V by R equals to I1. It should be V1 by R1. But V1, V2, V3 are not there. All of them have the same potential. So this one should be dropped here. V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. Now you can see V by R, V is common here. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. V gets cancelled. You will get 1 by R equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So as the resistors are connected in parallel, you also can write as RP. So 1 by RP equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So reciprocal of the effective resistance, reciprocal of the net resistance, reciprocal of the total resistance is equal to sum of reciprocals of individual resistors. Okay. Suppose you have only 2 resistors. For only 2 resistors, you can write 1 by R parallel equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So R1, R2 is the LCM, and in the numerator you will get R1 plus R2. Remember children, whenever you solve the circuit, you are not solving for 1 by RP. Rather you are solving for RP, where RP is the net resistance in parallel combination. So when you reverse this, R parallel equals to, right hand side also gets reversed, R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. This is the formula you should remember for parallel combination. If more than 2 are there, you use this. If only 2 are there, you can use this. Right. Suppose I have 2 resistors, 2 ohm and 3 ohm connected in parallel. Net will be 2 into 3 divided by 2 plus 3. So 6 divided by 5 equals to 1.2 ohm. 1.2 ohm. So I take only these two, 2 and 3. Net is how much? 1.2. What is the least value of the combination of the two? 2 ohm is the least value. 2 ohm is the smaller. How much you obtained? 1.2 ohm. That means if you correlate these two things, you will understand that the net resistance in the parallel combination, is less than the lowest of the combination. Suppose here is 3 ohm, here is 4 ohm, okay, here is 5 ohm, here is 6 ohm, and like that, here is 100 ohm. So like this, all of them are connected in parallel. Now if I ask you a question, what would be the effective resistance of this combination? What will be your answer? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 100, all of them are connected in parallel. What would be the effective resistance of this combination? The answer is the effective resistance of the entire combination will be less than 2 ohm. Will be less than 2 ohm. So 1 ohm to 100 ohm, if all of them are connected in parallel, the effective resistance of the combination will be less than 1 ohm. Okay. So what is happening to the net resistance in parallel means net resistance is decreasing. Net resistance is decreasing. In series, net resistance increases. In parallel, net resistance decreases. Okay, right. Now, a little extension to this topic here. Suppose R1 equals to R2. Matlab, you have 2 identical resistors. 2 identical resistors. Then what will happen? This R parallel equals to R1, R2. When both of them are same, there is no need of any subscript. So R into R divided by R plus R. So this is 2R divided by R square. Rn square will be sorry. This will be R square divided by 2R. Oh, square and R is cut, you get what? R by 2. So you usually each resistance of value R, but you are getting a combination as R by 2. Suppose if I use 2 ohm and 2 ohm, the net will be 2 2 4, 2 plus 2 4 equals to 1 ohm. If you use 3 into 3 by 3 plus 3 is nothing but 9 divided by 6, this will be 1.5 ohm. If I use 4 into 4 by 4 plus 4, that is 16 divided by 8 is nothing but what? 2. Remember, 1 is 50% of 2, 1.5 is half of 3, 2 is half of 4. What I would like to impress upon you is, if two resistors, two identical resistors are connected in parallel, the net resistance will be half of that, half of the individual. If two resistors, two identical resistors are connected in parallel, the net resistance will be half of the any of the resistors. So overall the resistance will what? Decrease in the parallel combination. Okay. So this is very important concept as far as application is concerned. You are designing an electrical circuit. You are designing an electrical or electronic circuit, whatever it may be. Okay. You have all resistances with you, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 5 ohm, 6 ohm, like that. Okay. But you needed a resistance which is less than 1 ohm, maybe a 0.5 ohm. Then you don't have any such 0.5 ohm in your lab to pick it up and connect in the circuit. Then what do? You take two 1 ohm resistors. You take two 1 ohm resistors and connect them in parallel, then you will get 0.5 ohm. Okay, right. So you have so many 1 ohm resistors, so many 2 ohm resistors, so many 3 ohm resistors, up to so many 100 ohm resistors. But you required how much? 350 ohm resistor. So 350 ohm, a single resistor is not available with you in the lab. So what do? You take the combination in series. Either you take you have to take 3 100 ohm resistors and 150 ohm resistor. All these 4 resistors, you connect them in series, you will get 350 ohm. So this is the advantage of series and parallel combination. If you ask me a question, sir, why should we study, means it is when you want to increase or when you want to decrease the resistance value, you can do by this. Okay, right. Okay, now suppose, so we are seeing that if there are two identical resistors, the net resistance will be R by 2. If you have 3 identical resistors, it will be R by 3. If you have 4 identical resistors, R by 4. Similarly, for n identical resistors, R parallel equals to R divided by n. And R series, you have seen, R series equals to n into R. Exactly reverse. C parallel equals to n into C, and C series equals to C by n. Observe this. So remember any one of that, so that the other thing can be what? Reversed. You better remember the resistors because you have studied resistors in class 10th. So you will have a better idea about resistors than the capacitors. Okay, right. One mark questions, 2 mark questions will be asked. N number of identical resistors are first connected in series. N number of identical resistors of resistance R each are first connected in series, and then they are connected in parallel. Calculate the ratio of net resistance of series to parallel combination. That means you are asked to calculate RS by RP equals to how much? Calculate the ratio of net resistance of series to parallel combination. Then what is the answer? N number of identical resistors. RS is nothing but N into R. RP is nothing but what? R by N. Take the ratio R series by R parallel equals to N into R by N. R gets cancelled. You will get the answer N square. If you do R parallel by R series, it will be 1 by N square. You should be very careful in solving whether RS by RP. If it is asked RS by RP, then you have to do this only. Okay. If it is 2 marks question or any explanatory subjective question, then no problem. But in the objective, if the question is asked, the answers will be like this. A is n square, B is 1 by n square, C is 1 by n, D is n. I said. So these two answers, both of them are correct. If you take RS by RP, it is n square. If you take RP by RS, it will be 1 by n square. You have this idea. But you see what is asked in the question, whether it is series to parallel or parallel to series. In such case, this will be correct and this will go wrong. Okay, right. Now, in a third video lesson, I explained something about the rating of the bulbs. A bulb is rated as 220 volt 40 watt. Another bulb is rated as 220 volt 60 watt. Okay. So how to calculate the resistance of the filament means. Okay. Filament resistance. Here, so this is one bulb. One bulb. It is rated as 220 volt comma 40 watt. You can see this on the body of this bulb. On the glass surface, you can read this value. This is called watt rating. We have another bulb which is rated as 220 volt comma 60 watt. So what is this here? This is a filament. So this filament is nothing but a conductor. Every conductor will have some resistance. So how to calculate this resistance means use the formula P equals V square by R. So why should we use V square by R? Why can't we use I square R? Why can't we use V into I? You see the data what is available with you and then take a suitable equation. 3 equations are there. Vi, I square R and V square by R. So you have voltage and power, so use this one. So this implies R equals to V square by P. Now both of them are having same rating of voltage, so V is going to be a constant. Then the resistance of the filament varies inversely with the rating of power. 60 watt is having more power, therefore this filament should have less resistance than the filament of 40 watt bulb. 60 watt bulb's filament will have less resistance as compared to the resistance of the 40 watt bulb. Right? So when such resistors are connected in series, when such resistors are connected in parallel, right, what will be the effective power consumed by both the bulbs? So that we are going to deal with now. Okay, right. In the previous class, I also told you what is the importance of this P equals V square by R as far as transmission of electricity is concerned from generating stations to our domestic purposes. Okay, right. Now, the two bulbs, this is a question. Two bulbs, okay, produce or consume, no problem, powers P1 and P2 respectively when connected across the same source. मतलब both of them are given the same voltage. You have a battery, say 220 volt battery. You have connected first bulb. Then you have removed. You connected the second bulb. Okay, that is the meaning of they are connected. The first bulb, when you connect the first bulb, it produces a power of P1, say 40 watt. When you disconnect it and connect the second one for the same 220 volt, it produces a power of P2, that is nothing but what, 60 watt. Okay, now what would be effective power consumed or produced by them when connected, number 1 in series, number 2 in parallel. So let us take first series, right? So here is a bulb and here is another bulb. So this is V, this is V, this is P1, this is P2. And this filament has got a resistance R1, this filament has got resistance R2. So what would be effective power consumed by them when connected to the same source, in series, in parallel? Individually they dissipate, they consume, they produce a power of P1 and P2. Both of them, if they come together and connected in series, how much it will be? It will be P1 plus P2 or P1 square plus P2 square or something else that we are going to see now, right? Now, so as both of them are in series, you can use this formula Rs equals to R1 plus R2. So as both of them are in series, both of them will carry the same current I. So what is R1? Resistance of the filament. How do you calculate? We use this formula again. P equals V square by R. This implies R equals to V square by P. Okay, right. So R1 is nothing but V1 square by P1 square. But V is same, so therefore you write V square by P1. So I write it as V square by P1 plus V square by P2. Right? V square is common. 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. V square you bring this side. Rs by V square equals to 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. If you write V square by R, it is P. But R by V square, it will be 1 by P. So this implies 1 by P series equals to 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. Clear? Or this will be P series equals to P1 into P2 by P1 plus P2. I take the LCM and then what? Reciprocate, then I get PL. So will it be more or less? Obviously this combination will tell you that it will be what? Less. This is P1 is how much? 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. So this is 40 into 60 is 2400 divided by 40 plus 60 is what? 100. This is to get, so this is 24. So effective power consuming of these two will be 24 watt only. Okay. So if they are connected in a parallel, how it will be? Fine. Now in parallel